Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Corey,
And I'm Brooklyn.
and this is our summary of learning for Ecomp 355. Uh,
Yay!
yeah, super fun. Uh, we're gonna start off talking about like our history with technology. I'll go first. Um, yeah, when I came into this class, I wasn't down on technology. I use it all the time, but I'm not super high on it for teaching, or I wasn't super high on it for teaching. And that's mainly because I didn't know very many resources that I could use in the classroom that involve technology. Um, you hear so much more about offline resources than online resources before you get to take a class like this, for example. So all the teachers that I've learned from were doing most of their stuff offline. So that's just what you pick up. But as I went through this class, learning through a bunch of things, I've developed a fondness for some of the technology that we've had, and I truly think I'm going to use some of the things that we've talked about in my classroom. Maybe not like all the time, but it'll be weaved in there. I don't want to force technology for technology's sake, but it'll be in there for some purposes. Certainly some of the tools that I've used have been absolutely great, and we'll talk about those as we go through this brief summary of learning.
So my history with technology, is pretty limited in the classroom sense. I come from a household where we don't have a lot of technology. We have two TVs and one's still like a bubble one where it has, like the bubble. So I would say I was pretty anti-technology in the classroom, and being an outdoor ed minor, you can't be a major.
Silly.
I know. I think that even made my thoughts on technology in the classroom a little more negative. And I've changed my thought, but it's been difficult, to say the least.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, and coming into this classroom and finding out that it's online using Blackboard Collaborate was, I think, something that we both were a little off-put about, because we'd never heard of Blackboard.
Didn't even know existed.
Yeah, we'd never heard of Blackboard Collaborate. We really didn't know what it was, what it did, how it worked. So that was nerve-wracking in itself to come in thinking of what are we going to do with that, But as the class went on, I know that I really enjoy Blackboard Collaborate, and I'd use it with my kids. I just don't know when
It'd be cool,
I would
like to do like the flipped classroom thing.
Yeah.
It'd be cool
to try to get something like that going, because I think it'd be fun and it'd be new for the students, and I think they would buy into it because it's fun and new, and so not the same old thing all the time, right? And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep students engaged, and I think this is a great tool for that.
And I definitely like the chat on the side. It's just a cool way to talk to people, and that always kept me. I always wanted to see what people were commenting, and I normally laughed with what people were saying.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about it.
I like that the moderators can moderate private chat, Katia, you know what I'm talking about, and let them know that you're watching them and seeing what they're typing. It's really good, and it helps keep control in a classroom, and I think that's one of my biggest goals in a classroom, is to maintain control and structure. I think that's one of the things that I've been trying to work on, giving up some of that control, but it's also one of my biggest philosophies in a classroom, is to have structure and control.
That pedagogy.
Yeah, pedagogy. Boom.
So next we're going to talk about oh my
Wow.
God, I cannot talk. Digital
There we
citizenship.
go. Slow it down.
Yeah, I got it. Honestly, I think the amount I've heard that word before this class was little to none. And I love the idea of it because I am very fearful of the internet, and my own ignorance towards technology just perpetuates that fear. So I think if I would have been in a school where they told me, how to be safe but use technology, and how to make online presence, and like what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, I think my fear would probably not exist, and I would be a lot more open and embrace technology a lot more than I do.
Yeah, I think digital citizenship and teaching what it's all about is very important, and also what a digital footprint is. and understanding that that's why digital citizenship is super important, because you're leaving something behind. As your
Crump Bear.
Yeah, hashtag Crunk Bear. She did not have good digital citizenship. Had she enjoyed her digital citizenship in a good way, she'd probably get fired for a different reason. But she might not have got fired so quickly, is what I would think. So yeah, digital footprint. Some quotes that I saw on the Twit chat that I was involved in, because it was all about digital citizenship and having a digital footprint. Were like walking in the snow and leaving footprints.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Footprints behind yourself. People know where you've been and know where you're going, kind of.
So as we talk about Twitter chats, we're going to segue into the personal learning networks.
Segue, nice.
Yes. And what we liked and how it allowed us to, I guess, expand our learning. So I'll go first. I love Twitter. I was on Twitter in high school, but just kind of for the basic social reasons. And I never thought of using it as a professional development way. And I loved it. It's just cool to wake up in the morning, or you're busy, you're even in the car, someone's driving, you can just go down, read an article, and be like, hey, this is really good. And then you can share it, and people will like it. And then sometimes I had this lady from BC write me a comment. She talked about Ultimate. So it's just a really cool way to connect with people, and you can use it for professional development, so I loved it.
Brag more.
Sorry. I love it.
I love the idea of a personal learning network, especially on Twitter. I find it so easy. My struggle with it is I've been such a passive user of my personal learning network, so I've been taking everything and giving nothing back. Not retweeting and stuff like I should, and not resharing like I should. And it's just, I've talked about it last class, where I need to change my thoughts on social media and change it from something that I use to kill time, something that I use as a brain shut off, and turn it into something that I use professionally and for growth. Because as soon as you get that change in your mind, then you start using it differently. So I'm still working on that, and that's one of my goals for moving forward, is to become more of an active member of my personal learning network instead of just a passive member of it. So next, we're going to talk about some of the projects that we enjoyed.
We liked them all. They were
we
good.
We did like them all. I don't know. We're just picking some of the ones that
stood out to us.
Yeah, that I think would be the most useful in a classroom to me. And this is just personal preference. This has nothing to do with thinking your tool is stupid. I don't think any of your tools are stupid. They're all good. They're all great. They're all pretty flowers.
We're not trying to offend anyone if we leave you out.
Yeah, we're going to leave a lot of you out.
Yeah, we're doing 2.
Yeah, we're talking about 2 and then ours, because ours are the best. So the first one, I'm going to talk about GarageBand. I really enjoyed this presentation, this project that the GarageBand group did. It's just a great tool for kids to play around with, have fun with an aspect of art that is sometimes really hard, because not every kid will play an instrument or even try to play an instrument, but I think if you get them on GarageBand, they will try to make music, because it's something online, it's something that is fun and interactive. I really enjoy it for that purpose. Yeah, at the same time, I think that it being an Apple product really pissed me off a little bit, because then you need an Apple product to use it, and I'm not a fan of proprietary stuff like that. But apart from that, GarageBand was really good for like a music aspect, art aspect, for me. I don't think I'd use it for any other subject. Would you?
I'd have to learn more about it.
Play around with it? I just don't think it. Maybe to make a song about something. Maybe.
Yeah,
now that I learned guitar,
you can make songs in English. So there we go.
Now that I learned guitar and stuff like that, you can make things fun, and it's another way for students to remember it. Right? If you make a song about something, you tend to remember it a little bit better. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk about Google Hangouts, because I liked that one, and
Me too. I thought it was a great tool.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I'm going to go on the idea of the flipped classroom, because I am an outdoor ed minor, so I like to do things and experiment and just always be busy. Sorry. As I'm moving my hands, you can tell I need to move. And I like the idea of you can hop on there, talk to your students, your class, whatever. You can go through some ideas, and then you could come to your actual class time, and you could totally experiment with them because they already have that pre-learning that they need to do whatever activity you're about to do. So I think that's a totally cool tool. And then even if you just need to provide help and you're not in the same building, it's also good for that.
Totally cool
Corey's making
tool.
fun of me right now.
Totally cool tool. No, it was
Those
so
words
good.
weren't big enough for him.
No, it was just that it rhymed. That's the only thing that caught my eye. Then there's like spelling mistakes on our next bits.
I can't spell.
Space in between pole and everywhere. But anyways, so next we're going to talk about our project. We worked with Jordan. Jordan is not in with us on this project, but we miss you, Jordan.
We miss you, Jordan. We do. We're sorry we left you out.
You were the yin to our yangs. Two yangs don't make a right. It's terrible. But my part of our project was bit strips, and I could not say enough good things about bit strips. I think it's such a good tool. The fact that there's lesson plans built into it make it such a great resource for teachers that you can pull just straight lessons off of there that connect to curriculum. It might not be the Saskatchewan curriculum, but it's somewhere, and that counts for something, I think. And I would have never learned about it if I didn't take this class and do that project. So that was a great, huge help for me, and it's one of the things that I think I'm going to incorporate into my classroom.
And I did Poll Everywhere, and I think it's a great tool for formative assessment. You can even do it as an exit slip, or you could have your students think about an issue overnight, and at home when they've had some time to think and reflect, then they can answer. So I think it is an opportunity to allow your kids more time to think about what they're thinking and why they think that way, which would deepen and allow for better learning. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That was mine.
It's great. We're going to talk about our final projects now. Ours are different because we chose two different options. So I think that's good because we get to have two different sides of the same coin here.
And we're pretty different, so.
Yes. For many reasons. So mine, I chose option A, I think, was the option that I chose. And I learned how to play guitar. I'm going to save you all the hassle and not play guitar right
Corey's going to play and I'll sing.
I will only play if she sings. I don't think she agreed to it, but we'll see. Maybe at the end here, we only have 2 more talking points. Maybe we'll do a little bit.
He makes fun of my singing all the time.
Hardly,
and if I sing, you guys will know why.
Probably.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Anyways, so yeah, I learned it using Ultimate Guitar tabs, YouTube videos. Then I went on Twitter and I reached out to some people and I got new guitar lessons and Marty Schwartz, who's another guy that's big on Twitter and YouTube, and just followed them. The new guitar lessons, they came and they contacted me through my Twitter post, so I don't know who I had.
That's cool.
On my
That's what I love about Twitter.
I don't know who I had on my Twitter, but they saw it through somebody and then contacted me and followed me, and then I followed them. So it was really cool to get someone that was, there's another active member of my personal learning network that I'm not an active member of. So something I need to do. But that was being active on it for just a little bit got me 2 great contacts, and it was so good. And now I can actually play guitar. It's really, it's really wicked. It's really wicked. It's something that I've always wanted to do and never had the chance because I've never had time. But this class forced me to make time. So I'm super appreciative for that.
Okay, and I'm going to talk about mine. I did a resource package type thing, and I'm going to talk about a struggle I had with it. As I mentioned, I kind of am not anti-technology, but I just am ignorant about technology, so I have fear. So that really put a big roadblock, a brick wall, right up in my face when I started doing this project. And just being in this class and listening and seeing, normally I'm quite active in my learning, and I kind of sat back in this class and let other people, I guess, take the reins, and I just watched. But I've learned a lot, and my fear has gone down. I still have some. But I would like to work through that and get to the point where I'm not afraid of technology and I embrace it fully and look for new ways to bring it in. So that was kind of some struggles that I had doing my final project. But I am slowly overcoming it and starting to like and see the benefits of technology, which I think is important. So.
And I think we're like right just getting over time. So
I think we're 5 minutes over time.
yeah, well, a little bit. Yeah, they said 10 to 12, so we're 3.5 minutes over time. But that's just another thing, you know, making these videos, they fly by. So it was good. It was fun. I'm excited. I'm happy with the class. I'm excited for the pizza party.
Yes, very excited, and I learned a lot. I can't even like say how much I learned, but
that's how much it was.
Yeah, it went from like knowing nothing. I still feel like there's a lot to learn, but I started learning, which is good.
Yeah.
I'm getting past my roadblock.
Perfect.
I took it like a detour.
Yeah. Straight lines are better, but yeah, perfect. Say goodbye to Joker.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bye.
Hi.